Welcome back to another episode at Master Asian Core. Today we are going to talk about daily stand-up. In my past videos, I've talked about backlog refinement, I've talked about sprint planning, and now we're going to proceed on with the next event. The next event is daily stand-up. So before we start, this video is not about Tyler. I just want to call it out that this has nothing to do with what you're doing. You know who you are. I just want to say so. Alright? Hey, thank you for watching my video, Tyler. Alright, let's carry on. Alright, daily stand-up. So daily stand-up is one of those events that a lot of people adopted. And that's the first thing that I tried when I started my journey. I picked up a book, I read about it back in 2002, 2003, and then the first thing I tried to do was doing a daily stand-up. I had a group of developers reporting to me. Every morning I would call them in and then ask them what did they do yesterday, what are they going to do today, and if there are any impediments. Now I went through the room one by one, and there was like 6 to 8 people in the room each time, and I would go through and doing my normal rotation as what do you do, what do you do, what do you do. Now what I found was that after doing it for a while, people was hating that meeting. They were saying, hey, Richard, why are we doing this? This is just a waste of time. And the only thing I said, wait a minute, I need those information so I can collect that, so I know where you are. So it was a status report. It was a status as a manager, as a director. I was asking my developers to tell me where they're at so I know. So I would take that information and then look at my project plan and see where they are. Well, that's not the reason for a daily stand-up. If that's what you're doing, then the first thing you know, you probably need to correct that. Why are we doing daily stand-up? So the daily stand-up is the plan for the team to achieve what they need to do for the day. Now, it's not individual, it's the team. So based on that, then it's the day where the team gets together. That's why it's called Scrum, daily Scrum, because you got a group of people getting together, trying to figure out how to move the ball forward. If there's anything that's stopping them, working together as one. If you don't have a team, if you're not running sprint, and if you don't have a sprint goal, if you don't have any goals that intersect among the group of people that works together, then they're not a team. If they're not a team, then your daily stand-up will become a status report. There has to be a reason why you want information together as one. Usually there's dependency. If you're working as a team in Scrum, because you're committed to work as a team, you are essentially committing to your team members that you will work together to get the sprint goal, the work committed in sprint achieved. So you're working together as one, right? So normally how would that go? Well, if it's not a status report, well, how does it work then? So the difference is this, is you may have some status reporting in there, but it's the action, it's the outcome of it. What are we trying to do after that? So usually it's easier for co-located teams. Now for co-located teams, then, managers is not in it, it's the team. The team picks the time, usually in the morning, gets together, sync up, and kind of work with each other. Now, if you don't have 5 or 6 people, if you have 2, 3 people, maybe you don't need the daily stand-up. If they're constantly already aware of what each other is doing, then you don't need the daily stand-up. But for most teams, often not, you do need those things. You need to sync up together as who's working on what, where are we at, what do we need to do to resolve some issues, what impediments you have. So it's not a manager, not a scrum asking what you. It's the team members themselves providing that information. So for co-located, what it is that you get a group of people standing together. So imagine you're standing together around your board or around your sprint board. Then, what I see usually happens is that, normally somebody from the left and then goes away around to the right. And that's a normal thing. Or somebody will basically do what we call walking the board. They pick a story on the board and start talking about it. So no managers in there. The product owner is there in the event that there are any questions. The product owner doesn't have to be there. Scrum Masters are there to facilitate. They're making sure that they are talking about the things that they need to talk about. Okay, so it's not a status report. So don't use it as a status report. So again, it is work together, planning together on what they need to do to achieve similar goals. If your teams are siloed, if everybody's working on their own thing and there is no relationship with somebody else, then yeah, you don't need a status report, and it's gonna be very boring. So it's gonna be a waste of time. Now, sometimes you do want to have a meeting if your intention is to have a cross training. In the event that somebody goes somewhere else, you want to make sure that this person have additional information, then maybe you have that. Now, the daily stand should be fast, should be 15 minutes and you're done. Okay, so you can do the traditional, the standard way of what everybody does. What did you do yesterday? What did I do today? And my impediments. You could do that, or you can do walking the board. It should be very fast. Now, do you talk about everything? No, you talk about things that you work on, right? So, assuming that, hey, I need to talk to Joe as I'm giving, where I'm at. I'm struggling with these things, and Joe, you may have some questions. I need to ask you a question. Then what you do is that you make it a parking lot. At the end of your daily stand-up, you would do what we call a parking lot. So that way, for those people that are interested, they can then go to the parking lot. If it doesn't pertain to them, then they can go about do their work. So that's why it's short, quick, and to the point. So folks, that is daily stand-up. That is how you would do it and who's on it. I hope this helps you. If you have any comments, concerns, and anything at all, please feel free to provide that below. Thank you for joining me, and for those that have not subscribed, please subscribe so you can continue to get updates on videos like this. Bye.